next speaker is Mike Swank, who is part of Men of Honor, who will briefly explain what their duties are going to be.
Thank you very much. I do want to, yes, I'm with Men of Honor Social Club. We have a junior cadet crew that we actually had a history tour here, and we were able to identify 3 Civil War veteran graves that were unmarked. Through the support from our brothers of Men of Honor, as well as our community, we were able to raise funds. We are unveiling the 3 headstones for the veterans today. Just following this ceremony, it's going to be over on the other side. There are flowers and nice spreads set out so you can, see the graves and come over and celebrate with us. The 3 veterans are Charles Elliott Elledge. He was a corporal in the 101st United States Colored Troops. Edward Witten, corporal for Company H, 29th U.S. Colored Troops. And Nathaniel Yemen, who served in Company C of the 10th Regiment, Minnesota Infantry. So these gentlemen have laid unmarked for over 100 years. So it's an honor to be able to present them to the community and give them the respect they're due. Along with Mr. Elledge and Mr. Witten, we've also put stones on the graves of their wives who are buried with them. So please feel free to stick around afterwards and come over and celebrate and give these people the recognition they deserve. Thank you. I want my son to come up with me, Carter. Come on. My son and help do all the dirty work with me here. As I stated over at the big crowd here, we did a history tour. There's a ton of history in this cemetery. We found out that there was 2 unmarked Civil War veteran graves, and we decided to make it right and do the right thing and honor them. So this is Charles Elledge and his wife Lucinda. We put both of these, we're responsible for both of these stones being put in, and we just want to honor them. Again, Charles was, he was actually born in Tennessee in 1842, became a corporal in the U.S. Colored Troops. He enlisted on November 30th of 1863 and was discharged on January 21st, 1866. Mr. and Mrs. Elledge, they lived on West Jackson Street, 533 West Jackson Street, which is, it's crazy to bring that to life and kind of realize, that these were people, and obviously they need to be celebrated as well. It's really hard to find information on some of these gentlemen. Really tried to dig up what I could. I was hoping I could find photos and stuff. Was not able to do that, but I did find one story on January 28th, 1897. Mr. Elledge was riding his horse through town and something happened. He fell off his horse and broke a bone in his hand. That made the news. But, none of his military service did, and we really want to thank him and his fellow veteran brothers for serving in this war. You don't know, we have obviously these 2 graves. We can take a walk over to the other 2 just to show you guys where they are. And if anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to answer what I can. But I want to thank my brothers in the Men of Honor Social Club, our junior cadet group, and all the community support. We asked to help raise some funds to make this happen. It was actually great. The VA actually donated the stones to us, so we had extra money to buy flowers and do the wives' stones. We thought that was the right thing to do. So with that being said, I'll show you guys around to the other 2.
Thanks, Mike.
With the spelling that was on the paperwork for their military service, and used that. So there are some variances, and we did the best we could. But present to you Mr. Edward Witten, Corporal Company H, 29th U.S. Colored Troops. He served, let's see, enlisted 10/21/1864 until 11/6/1865. Mr. Whitten was actually, he was injured in the Civil War. I don't know if it was an illness or an actual injury. I couldn't document it. But he did spend time in the National Home for Disabled Volunteer Soldiers in Brownsville, Texas. I told you how, let's see, Mr. Elledge lived at 533 West Jackson Street. Mr. Whitten was right down the street. These guys were basically neighbors. He lived at 558 West Jackson Street with his wife Sarah Whitten, who we've also marked her headstone here now. Again, Mr. Whitten passed in 1911, so it was over 100 years that this hero laid unidentified, and it's past time, and I'm just proud that we were able to pull this together. And yeah, I really feel like these two gentlemen probably knew each other, which is somewhat special to me too. And so I give you Edward Whitten and his wife Sarah. One more headstone, and it's not that far a walk. It's actually right over here. So the final Civil War veteran that we were able to identify. This one's a little bit special to me. It just so happens that this man lived in my home back in the late 1870s to about 1900. So this was kind of fun. I didn't realize that until after we had identified the first two veterans, and then I came across something about Mr. Yemen's Civil War service, and I dug it up. I contacted the city, and we found his resting place here, unmarked. So again, we wanted to mark this grave in honor of one of our heroes again. Mr. Yemen was born in New York State in 1835. He served in Company C, 10th Regiment, Minnesota Infantry. As I said, Nathaniel, his wife Hannah, and their only child Ralph lived in our home for about 19 years. He was a very talented tradesman and a farmer as well. I'm going to have to tear walls apart in my house because apparently there's some hand-turned piping in our walls in my bedroom that Mr. Yemen actually carved his name into. So I might have to expose that somehow and creep my wife out a little bit. But yeah, and Mr. Yemen's son Ralph is actually buried on the other side of the cemetery, so they plan to take at least a rose over and share with the family. And we looked for family members with all of these veterans, and I located one great-great-granddaughter out in California. We weren't able to keep in touch for one reason or another, but we still wanted to carry on and honor these heroes here. So I appreciate you all coming out here today. And,